Children, now your next exercise is based on direct proportion and indirect proportion. Let's take a quick revision of proportion first. What is proportion? So, whenever we say that the four terms will be in proportion, that means the ratio of first. That means the ratio of first and second quantity and the ratio of third and fourth quantity is same. Or when we equate two ratios, then we say that we can equate. If we can equate two ratios, then we can say that the four quantities are in proportion. Now, if A is to B and C is to D are equal, then we say that A, B, C, D are in proportion. Okay. If A, B, C, D are in proportion, then the first and the fourth term will be called extremes. What it will be called? Extremes. First and fourth term. And the second and third term will be called means. So whenever A, B, C, D, if they ask that any four term given and you have to find the they are in proportion or not. So when we calculate the product of extremes and product of means, and the product of extremes will become equal to the product of means, then we say that the four terms given are in proportion. Right, children? And this can also be written as A is to B as C is to D. This proportion sign will be read as A is to B as C is to D. Right. Now let's come to direct and indirect proportion. What is direct proportion? Direct proportion means whenever one quantity increases, the other quantity will also increase. Whenever the first quantity decreases, the other quantity will also decrease. That means the ratio of both the quantities will always remain same. I have tried to explain this with the help of example, very simple example. It says that 10 pencils cost rupees 40. So 100 pencils cost will be 400, right? So you can see here, if when the number of pencils has been increased, the cost has also been increased. Now let's calculate the ratio in first condition. 10 pencil 40 rupees, the ratio will become 1:4. Let's calculate the ratio in second condition. 100 pencil cost 400 rupees, 100 upon 400 again equals to 1/4. You can see here, children, the ratio has not changed. The ratio is same. Right. Let's talk about indirect proportion now. Indirect proportion means when first quantity will increase, the second quantity will decrease. That means one will increase and the other will decrease. When one will decrease, first will decrease, the other will increase. I have taken another simple example to explain this also. Try to understand clearly. Suppose there's a work going on. Suppose there are a few laborers which are constructing and doing some construction work, and it is said that 10 laborers can finish that work in 20 days. 10 laborers can finish that work in 20 days. Now, if the number of laborers has been increased, suppose 40 laborers can complete the same work in 8 days. So, when we increase the number of laborers, the number of days will get decreased. So, if we decrease the number of laborers here, the number of days will get increased. That means, if we say that 10 laborers can finish in 20 days, so one labor will be in 2 days. No, that will be wrong. One labor will be in 200 days. Okay, because when we decrease the number of laborers, the number of days will increase. Okay, it will not decrease. This is wrong. So here the ratio, if we calculate, that is 1:2, and here the ratio will be 5:1. That is not same. Right. So we have understood what is direct proportion and indirect proportion. Let's do a few sums to understand the topic more clearly. Note down this much first. Let's read these statements, children, and comment whether they are in direct proportion or they are not in direct proportion. Right. The statement is given as the cost of the ticket and the number of tickets. So this again we try to understand with the example that suppose you have 100 rupees and the cost of one ticket is 10. So how many tickets you can buy from 100 rupees? 10 tickets, right? And suppose that cost of the ticket has been increased to 20 rupees. Now how many tickets you can buy in 100 rupees? Of course less, 5 tickets. So from here we can see that when the cost of the ticket is increasing, the number of tickets that we can purchase will decrease. So is this an example of direct proportion? No, this is not a direct proportion. Right. Let's see another example. Distance traveled by the car and fuel used in the journey. So when someone is traveling, and as long as the car goes, it will of course consume more fuel, right? So as the journey becomes longer, the consumption of fuel will also becomes more. That means when you are increasing the distance, we can see that the fuel quantity of consumption of fuel will also increase, right? So this is an example of direct proportion. So we can say that this is a direct proportion. That means journey or traveled by the car and the fuel quantity of fuel used in the journey will be related directly, right? Move to next point. Let's see another sum, children. In this sum, the question says 6 packets of biscuits cost $11.40. How much do 15 packets of biscuits cost? Right. This is again can be solved by simple unitary method. That means the 6 packet biscuits cost rupees $11.40. Then 1 packet biscuit cost rupees dollars less. That means one packet of biscuit cost $11.40 upon $6. That will be $1.90. So we can say that the cost of 15 packets will be more. Then we will multiply by 15 here. This cost of 1 packet into 15, that will be 28.50. Okay, understood, children? So the cost of 15 pack of biscuits will be $28.50. Right, children? Note down, please. Let's see another sum, children. In this question, it's given as Carlos travels between UK and Spain when the exchange rate was 1 British pound equals to 1 point. So the exchange rate was 1 British pound equals to 1.18 euros. Now the question says when he went to Spain, he changed 325 British pound into euros. Okay. Now the question is how many euros did he get? How many euros did he get? This is the first part. Second, when he went back to UK, when he came back to UK, when he returned to UK, he changed 80 euros into British pound. Now, how many pounds did he get? And give your answer to the nearest pound. That we have to solve. And we have to give our answer to the nearest pound. Right. Let's see the solution. What is the exchange rate, children? 1 British pound equals to 1.18 euros. That means 1 euro will be 1 upon 1.18 British pound. Right. Understood. Now he was having 325 British pound. So 325, when we convert into euros, we'll multiply it by 1.18. That will be 383.5 to the nearest round off euro. It will be 384 euros. Right. And when he returned, when he traveled from Spain to UK, when he came back, he was left with 80 euros. Now he has to convert that 80 euros into British pound. So how much pound does he get now? So the rate of 1 euro is 1 upon 1.18 British pound. So the rate of 80 euros will be 80 into 1 upon 1.18. That means when we divide 80 by 1.18, we'll get 67.79. Right, children? This is 67.79 British pounds that he will get in exchange of 80 euros. Right, children? And when we convert this into nearest pound, what we'll get? 68 British pound. Right, children? I hope you have understood. Note down the solution.